A family of three open a night market stall, and we follow each of these three as they go through their own trials and tribulations. Film fans of YouTube, hello and welcome back to the channel. I am Josh, your movie apprentice, and today, continue my London Film Festival coverage, I am looking at Left-Handed Girl. Directed by Shih-Ching Tsou and starring Yuan Ma, Nina Ye, and Janel to Tsai. This is a film that I can best describe as sort of a train spotting style of movie, in which it goes from scene to scene and there's no true through line that takes you from point A to point B in this movie, but it keeps you engrossed anyway because you are really invested in these characters. Before I get into my full thoughts, if you like seeing on the channel, make sure you are clicking that like button and subscribing for more reviews like this coming all the time. Without further ado, let's jump right into this. So, Left-Handed Girl, it is about this small family. We have a mother who is running this night stall. We have the rebellious teenager who's having an affair with her manager at another stall in this night market. And we have the little girl, the titular left-handed girl, who is just trying to make herself useful and just trying to occupy herself whilst her mother and her older sister are working. The impressionable young girl ends up believing that her left hand is the hand of the devil. And because of that, it gives us some very adorable scenes that are accompanied with some truly wacky music as the left handed girl gets up to some shenanigans across the night market. And that ends up being some of the most adorable moments in the film. But I love how throughout this film's runtime, even though it is a case of going from scene to scene to scene to scene before we get to your final 20-25 minutes where you really get the crux of the story, it plants those little seeds that allow you to put two and two together. There is an early piece of drama in which they find out that the father of the teenage daughter is critically ill and the mother is going out of her way to try and support him on his deathbed, but the teenage daughter resents him. And I feel like it is heavily hinting at a certain aspect that becomes a lot clearer once you get to the end of the film. But this film also brings us the arguably the most wholesome moment I've seen in cinema this year. I'm just going to call it the apology tour. It is such a sweet moment that shows a bond between two of the three characters that you have hardly got to see much of throughout this film, as each of them is doing their own thing. It is a film that just, as I've said, goes from scene to scene, but you see the development of their individual stories as the film goes through. We see the mother struggling to keep her stall afloat, but she has this ever supportive guy at the next stall that is just trying to be very helpful to her as she struggles through trying to keep the stall open, going through romance, and having to look after her two children. The little girl adopts a pet that is very adorable and has a very nice sequence of events through that. And we have the teenage daughter who interacts with some people from her past that question why she didn't go in a certain direction. And you just get all these layers of character development layered over each other before we get into quite a tense and dynamic final act that takes quite the left turn. But when you reflect on the film as a whole, you realize that we should have really seen it coming from a mile away. This is the director's first effort in over 2 decades, according to her IMDb. I think she last directed the film back in 2003. She has mostly been working with Sean Baker in his movies, who recently won the Best Director for Anora. And you can tell she has learned a lot from just developing characters because it is such a sweet little movie. It is all in a foreign language, but you fully buy into the family dynamics because obviously it's not just these three. We see a wide variety of family members in this, from the grandfather who pushes that theory of the left hand being the devil's hand on the little girl. We see his wife doing her own shady stuff on the side. There is a lot of conflict with throughout this family. I just love how it takes time for us to develop each character, both big and small. So you really like these characters as people, and that is something that is very hard to do, especially in a film like this where there is no definitive inciting incident, second act twist, third act resolution. This is a film that very much draws you in from its writing, from its characters, and it is shot really well. And the night market itself as well just feels like such a vibrant, lived in space. And that is something that can feel very alien in other films. Other films will just have these areas just feel like backdrop to the drama unfolding in front of us. But with Left Handed Girl, the night market becomes part of the story. And that is something I really enjoy. This nice little pocket of so many stories which focuses exclusively on these three family members. If I talk about it too much, then I'll be giving away the whole thing. All I'll say is that when it comes out on Netflix, this is one that is definitely worth your time to see. Before I get into my full grade, if you like seeing on the channel, make sure you click that like button and subscribe for more video reviews that's coming all the time. Without further ado, let's jump into the grades. So, Left Handed Girl, this is a simple story that follows three characters. We grow to love each and every one of them in their own certain way. In one way or another, we can connect with their struggles and their troubles. And once everything kind of gets tied up in a nice little bow in that final third, it feels very fulfilling as a viewer of the movie, and there's something quite sweet about it as well. The little girl is so adorable, and it gives us some very amusing scenes with some funny music accompanying it. Just some very sweet, heartwarming moments as well. The apology tour definitely goes up there with one of my favorite scenes of the year. But overall, for me, I'm gonna have to say that Left Handed Girl is a good cup of tea. So, Left Handed Girl, have you seen it? If you have, let me know your thought down in the comments below. If you like what you're seeing on the channel, make sure you click that like button and subscribe for more video reviews that's coming all the time. Until next day, everybody, my name is Josh. I'll be your movie apprentice, and I'll see you all in the next video.